Well, good afternoon. It's kind of a rock and roll old Monday afternoon here. I wanted to tell you that there are some heavy thunderstorms in Indiana, and more specifically, that are moving into the area that is going to be just from Karen Crow, Sunset Karen Crow, down through the Lafayette area. Thought you might want to see those on radar. So here is that radar. And I'm going to make this full screen so that you can take a look at it. Those thunderstorms are, in fact, moving toward the south, and they're moving toward the south rather rapidly. I'm going to put this thing in motion so that you can see. This thunderstorm that's now just crossing I-10 and headed southbound is capable, I think, of producing some small hail. So is this one that's over in the Henderson, Grand Anse area. Let's see if we can make this happen. And there we go. Here comes the motion for these thunderstorms. Just got a report that the thunderstorms produce some very gusty winds and some intense rain up in the Karen Crow area, and that's what is moving toward the south. We can look inside these cells and see if there's anything that's showing any velocity of rotation, and I don't see that, but I do see some pretty good winds just to the west of I-10. And those winds would be 30 to 40 miles an hour, possibly, as they move in, capable of producing some small limb damage, possibly. National Weather Service has not really said anything about this yet, but they have warned a cell over in the Baton Rouge area, severe thunderstorm warning. So if you're heading in that direction, you might want to take that into consideration. These thunderstorms are moving toward, these in Baton Rouge area, moving toward the southwest. And I'm going to tell you now, it's been my experience for the last 100 years probably, that when you have a thunderstorm moving south, north to south, or northeast to southwest in Lafayette, you can probably just go ahead and put out a warning for the thing. Let's see, National Weather Service has just put out a special weather statement, and let's see what it says. Gusty winds, pretty much I think what we just said, winds in excess of 40, possibly some half-inch hail. So that's pretty much what we just described. And I think National Weather Service is on board with that at this point. So that's good. And here's the area that's going to be affected by that stuff as we continue. I'm going to put it back in motion and zoom in just a little bit so that we can look at it. Let's see what we got here. We talked about this morning. I don't know if you saw that or not, but there's such extreme heats, and boy, I'll tell you what, it is so blooming hot out there. I've seen temperatures reported up to 100, 101 today on actual temperatures, not the heat index stuff. Let's see. So that thunderstorm now is just crossing Interstate 10. It's along the southeast of Angeline Thruway, and that will be cooling things off a little bit. But remember, there could be some gusty winds with it. I did get a report of an intermittent power outage in the Karen Crow area. Power lights are back on, and it's continuing to move toward the south at about, it looks like about 15 to 20 miles an hour. Again, this thing could produce some hail as well as some gusty surface winds, and it will produce some rain that will help to cool things off just a little bit. Hope you're doing well today. It's well, I'll tell you, if this is July, I can't wait to see what August is going to look like temperature-wise. But we'll watch these things as the evening progresses. And right in this area, I think we're going to see the cooling off effect of these showers, killing other showers and stabilizing the atmosphere just a little bit. But we shall watch it and see what's going on. If you would like to make comments, please do so. I'm watching the comments section. Remember to put your name in that deal. Let's see if I can find that again, just to show you. Let's see if we can. I don't know where I put the darn thing, but anyhow, it's oh, here we go. No, maybe not. We'll watch this as it progresses. Let's see, banners. There we go. Yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. If you can, go to streamyard.com/Facebook and allow Facebook to put in, if you're watching this on Facebook, allow that to put in your name so I can see who's commenting as we progress. So let's see. I'm going to go back to the comments. And if you'd like to, feel free to comment. Again, we're watching some very heavy thunderstorms. There is a wind that's gusting a bit in Karen Crow, still gusting in Karen Crow. Yeah, I believe that. Looks like those cells have kind of filled in. So there's one continuous cell from just south of, oh gosh, let's see, just south of the Sunset area on down into now becoming the central part of Lafayette. And we do have a special weather statement out for this thunderstorm, as we just discussed, that it will produce some gusty surface winds. Let me take a look out here. It's not raining at my location at this point in central Lafayette, but I suspect we will start to get some rain. Actually, you know what? We don't need the wind, but we can certainly use the rain. It's been awfully dry. I'm sure it's probably been dry at your place as well. And hello to hey Suzanne, good to see you. Hope everything's okay up in the Opelousas area. I guess that's where you are. I would imagine. Well, let's see. I'm going to continue to watch the comments as well to see if anything comes in. So here we are in Lafayette, and here's that active thunderstorm. Now, if you're heading toward the Baton Rouge area, there's another heavy thunderstorm that's just in the process of crossing I-10 near Henderson. It's moving down toward the south, and it will continue to produce gusty winds, just the same as this little thunderstorm complex that's now coming through. This one actually near Grand Anse may be a little bit heavier. Let's look inside with the velocities possibility. Yeah, there it is. There could be a little wind problem right in here, and by that I mean some gusty surface winds. I'm seeing a little rotation, but remember this is very minor, and I don't think it's a tornado or anything like that, but I do believe we can see some gusty surface winds. And there could be some limb damage with this, or power outage, temporary power outages, or whatever else. So we'll continue. Also, right in this area, let me look at that real quickly. Yeah, we've got some little wind stuff. Here's some 17 to 20 mile an hour winds. Just that report now of gusty winds in the Karen Crow area. And let's take a look at this. These are the winds, the wind-driven rain particles that are circulating in this particular thunderstorm. The red is moving away from the antenna at Lake Charles. The green is moving toward the antenna. So this is kind of a circulation pattern here. But again, it's not significant enough to say that there's any kind of tornadic threat. So just watch out for the heavy thunderstorm rains, and also the winds that are going to be accompanying this. Let's see how we can do this. I'm going to leave it on the velocities reading so we can take a look at the next update as it does that. Middle update in about maybe 10 seconds or so. We shall see. Heaviest winds right now are just north of the interstate, between Cecilia and the interstate, probably around Poche Bridge, I would imagine. Let's see. Where's Poche Bridge? Poche Bridge would be somewhere right in here. Here's the Anse-Broussard Highway, Cecilia, and this, yeah, it's pretty good little wind in there, I think, as we're heading. I'll let the update again, and then we'll go on to the next rain slide. Now, Baton Rouge has got some pretty good weather in this particular thunderstorm. Again, we're pretty far away from Baton Rouge at this point, so we're looking at the mid-levels of the thunderstorm, probably about 12 to 15,000 feet, at least when the radar beam gets there. But let's see if we have something here. Southeast winds at 2. That's a little observation from just northeast of Karen Crow. And I don't know which way this weather camera's pointed, but let's see if it's pointed toward the north. And it looks like it is. So that's the thunderstorm that's approaching right now. You can see the rain core right here. This is in Broussard looking back toward Lafayette. So that's the thunderstorm that's now just about to move over the city of Lafayette. Temperature 102.7 in Broussard. That's pretty accurate reading, I can tell you, but we'll see that, I think, calming down a little bit. 102 at the airport. Yeah. So it's plenty warm. And as I said, hopefully this will help to cool things off just a little bit. Let's go back to the how hard is it raining type line. Here's a little track. So this thing is moving toward the southeast. It looks like this thing is not moving too fast anymore down toward the south, although it should continue to do that. Yeah. So the cell that's right over there should be right in this area, south of Champagne at about 504. And let's see, National Weather Service says that these thunderstorms are moving toward the south. I can hear some thunder there. 8 miles north, we're moving south at 25. So that's about what we were thinking, I believe. And Gail, good afternoon to you in Opelousas. Hope you're doing okay up there. I think you might have missed the rain, if I'm not mistaken there, Gail. I didn't see any rain on the radar up there, but yeah, I see your comment now. It says nothing going on, sunny and hot. So we're lucky today, I guess, if you can call getting a heavy thunderstorm lucky, which I do in this case. We're getting a pretty heavy-duty little thunderstorm here. If you should happen to see any difficulties like broken branches or any kind of flooding with this thing, if you're in the Lafayette area, please let me know in the comments, and I'll pass it along to National Weather Service over in Lake Charles. They're always appreciative of that kind of stuff. So let's look here again. So just north of Karen Crow, pretty heavy little cell. It's intensifying again right here in the how do you pronounce that? Stecky area. I know exactly where it is. I just don't know how to pronounce it. In fact, I didn't even know that it had a name until just the other day when Pat told me. I have a friend that lives up there. See how this is color coding out a little bit. This is some very heavy rain. So look out again in the Karen Crow area. You're going to see some very heavy rain as this thing barrels through it. I'm going to go back to the velocity products. Okay, again, the heaviest stuff should be right in here. I'm seeing wind gusts to about 27 to 30 miles an hour just to the northwest. That's around the golf course there, I think, just northwest of the interchange between I-49 and I-10. Again, that's the word from the National Weather Service. Between mile marker 97 and 125, some pretty good showers and thunderstorms. So that'd be right in here up to about the entrance to the Swampland Expresses, I call it. So if you are watching, please give me a comment in the comment section. If you're on Facebook, please go to Facebook. Well, go to, let's see, what did we call that thing? We called it this. Go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, and I'm requesting access to your name and photo. Once you've accepted it one time and you make a comment, then I'll be able to see who's making the comments here, which is always a welcome thing. So good afternoon to Suzanne and Gail, and gosh, let's see who else. We have some folks in here, but not everybody's commenting, which is fine. You're welcome to lurk and watch and see what's going on. But I would ask you that if you do see any severe weather or encounter any severe weather, that you let us know. So here's a comment that it's like hurricane winds here on Point Mouton, very scary. Moved my patio furniture to the yard. Well, good, okay. So we are getting gusty winds. If you could estimate what those winds are, I would appreciate that. I'm thinking you're probably seeing 30 to 40 mile an hour winds in that area. And that is what is moving southward toward Lafayette. Let me go back to the reflectivity side, and I will show you what we're seeing. Okay, so here's Lafayette, Central Lafayette, and the heaviest stuff is up just northeast of Karen Crow. Here's Pont-a-Mouton. So that's exactly where we would expect the heaviest winds to be. And our report from our viewer there just confirms that. Hey, Mike, good to see you in Florida, huh? So the Tragic Kingdom is getting some rain. I see Jenny's back with a comment here, hoping to get some rain in Cankton. Well, it looks like that's just to the east of you, Jenny. I don't know if you'll do that or not. And here's my buddy Mike. Mike is over in Florida, in the Orlando area, and he says, "Well, there you go. It's raining there, but I don't think that's connected to this, Mike." Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing okay. And tell your bride hi. Mike's like me. He married way above his station in life, so that's. I'm sure he doesn't mind me saying that because it's probably true. Okay, so let's see what this little guy is doing now. Put this back in motion for us, and we can see it continuing to move toward the south. Again, the heaviest thunderstorm rains are up here around Karen Crow, just east of Karen Crow. It's raining on the Cracklands at Don's Cracklands, I think, in Boudin. I'm starting to get some very gusty winds here. So batten down the hatches. We do have a special weather statement in effect for Lafayette. Anybody that would like to watch or make a comment, please do so at this time. Let's see, I got one comment here. Sky's getting dark over Charles Burke Elementary near Ridge and Fieldspan. Yeah, that's the thunderstorm that's currently moving in. Lots of thunder and wind in southeast Baton Rouge, but no rain at my house so far. Okay, thanks. I don't know your name, but if you can, go over to streamyard.com/Facebook and allow me to see your name when you make a comment. That would be appreciated. You only have to do it once. And then when we get together again in the future for severe weather, which I suspect we will, then there will be a name that'll show up next to your comment. Lisa from the FISDO. Good afternoon to you, man. Good VFR flying weather in Lafayette if you want to get some bump time. The FISDO is our FAA friends. And I've gone all these years without getting violated, so I just be nice to those people. You know how that works. I tallied it up, Lisa, the other day, and I was actually instructing for like 40 years. Can you believe that? That's crazy. Nobody should have to climb in and out of little airplanes like that. Poured for about, let's see, where is this? We are in Karen Crow. Rain poured for about 10 minutes, then has stopped. Hail in Karen Crow. Okay, well, that's not surprising. And if I had to guess, I'd say you're probably just a little bit east of I-49. We're starting to get some gusty winds here in central Lafayette. And hello to everybody that's watching. I see we have a few viewers in here. Please comment if you'd like over on that side. And let me again put this up. If you don't mind, before you comment or even after you comment, doesn't matter, go to streamyard.com/Facebook and let me have permission to see your name, and then I'll know who's making the comments. Let's go back to the radar here. I want to take a look at this back on the velocities section with a tilt of 1 degree. Now it looks like the heaviest wind is probably going to be between, right in this area, just north of Scott. I'd be interested in an observation from you, Jenny, up in Cankton, if and when you get stuff. I don't know. I don't think you got much up there as far as wind and rain goes, but we shall we shall see. Let me look inside these cells here and see what we're getting. Yeah, we're getting some, I'd say 25 to 45 mile an hour gusts in here right now. And over here, we're getting some more very windy conditions. Thunderstorms are moving toward the south at about 25 miles an hour. They are producing wind gusts. There have been reports of a little hail over in the Carencro area, some spotty power outages, which were very temporary, I think, and that's what we're seeing so far. If you would like to comment, please do. Hey, Ann, good to see you in here. Quite a few power outages, I am told. Quite a few power outages around Moss Street and Hector Conley. Not surprising with this thunderstorm. And I think I'd showed this before, but it poured for about 10 minutes and it stopped in the Carencro area. And also we had this report, hail in the Carencro area, probably pretty small hail, but nonetheless, hail will get your attention. So let's see what we have here. Okay, we're going to continue to watch this radar. I hear my wind alarms going off. So that tells me that the winds are very gusty. They are. And that's this thunderstorm that's moving toward the south. Let me back out a little bit on this. And good afternoon to everybody that's with us here. I suppose we all have the same interest in whether or not this weather is kicking up any serious problems, and it's not really doing anything serious right now, except it's cooling things off a little bit. It's giving us some pretty heavy rain. We're still seeing 102 degrees at the airport, but I suspect the next reading that will come down a little bit, and we'll probably see that. And my neighbor just saying, "Bet your whirly bird is whirly." Well, I guess it is. Hey, Troy, how you doing? Troy, if you're on the SkyTrack thing here, why don't you give me a message, if you don't mind, so I'll know you're here. Okay, so here's our radar currently. Let me go back to that. And we'll go back to the reflectivity mode and how hard it's raining. Looks like this thunderstorm over in the Henderson area is phasing out a little bit. It's diminishing in intensity, shall we say. It was rocking and rolling right here, but now it's starting to fall apart just a little bit. This is still a very heavy thunderstorm. There should be some very heavy rains around from Pontamucho down into the central part of Lafayette across the I-10, I-49 corridor. If you're in that area, give me an observation, please. We'd like to know what the weather's doing right there. And here's what Jenny says from Carencro. Getting a little wind there. The sky got really dark toward the east, but it looks like it's passed already. It actually has, Jenny. Let me show you what we're seeing right now. Here is Kankton, and that cell is now just to the south and southeast of you. It's continuing to move. Let's see. I think we do have a special weather statement. This looks like a severe thunderstorm warning in effect now, which means we're going to fire up the radio as well. Let's see if I can bring up Skywarn. We also call the Skywarn network when that's available. Hang on just a second. Kira said WA5TNK. Kira said. This is WA5TNK, Lafayette Skywarn, severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Lafayette Parish expires in 30 minutes. Expect hail and gusty winds, possibly as strong as 50 to 60 miles an hour. Okay, phone ringing. Hello. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. I had to take a phone call, and I got a report from the 12th Street area on the Evangeline Thruway. Winds gusting to about 40 miles per hour, and it winds blowing to South Lafayette. Thank you, Pam. Appreciate that, Obs. If anybody on the channel here gets any severe weather, please let me know. Like if you see any branches coming down, or any power outages or hail, I'd like to know about that, and I'll pass those along. Let's see here. This is WA5 Tango November Kilo, Acadiana Skywarn. Anybody on frequency like to check in with or without an observations, call now. WA5 TNK. Okay, so I'm running the Skywarn. Good afternoon, sir. Location and what's your weather?
Very gusty winds, a lot of trash cans being blown around, and the weather is rainy. Location is, let's see, Ambassador and Congress area.
Okie dokie. If you see anything that looks dangerous, let me know.
10-4, will do.
Okay, I don't know if you can hear the radio, guys. We've got a ham radio network called Skywarn, and we're kind of expanding it with this. Let's see. Pam, winds are blowing in South Lafayette. Thank you, ma'am. I think I'd looked at that one actually earlier. So if you'd like to comment, please do so in the comment section on Facebook. That'd be just great. We'll continue this. Let's see. We do have some viewers. Anybody that's interested in weather, you might let them know that we're on the air live, and we're looking at some of these thunderstorms. And this is done not to take the place of the National Weather Service, but it's to give you a more current view of exactly what's going on as it's happening, real time. And I think a lot of folks probably enjoy that. So this thunderstorm is now continuing to move toward the south at about 25 miles an hour. And it is a severe thunderstorm, so expect wind gusts to 40 or 50, maybe 60 miles an hour, and some small hail. Let's go back to the velocities. So it looks like the heaviest weather would be here over just north of the Scott area. If you're in the Scott area, please let me know. Sadu area. Winds have calmed down a little bit right here in the central part of Lafayette, but I suspect they're blowing a little bit more over here. Okay. Okay, so we're looking at the velocities. Let's go back to the reflectivity, and I'll put this in motion so that we can watch this. This thunderstorm did produce some small hail and gusty winds and a couple of sporadic power outages up there in the Karen Crow area. We did get a report earlier. It said it poured for about 10 minutes and then stopped up in the Karen Crow area. Okay. We'll go back in and take a look at the core of this thunderstorm. Let's see if I can run it back and forth. Now I'm doing that with the radar. Obviously, it's not backing up, as you know. So the core of this thing is here, and it's moving south-southwest at 5. So it did slow down in forward motion. Right here should be at this point at 5:35. So it's moving very slowly. Actually, you know what this means? That we're going to get more rain in one location out of the thunderstorm. So be ready for that. If you are anywhere in this core area and you see any flooding, I would certainly appreciate knowing about it. Because as a thunderstorm this heavy slows down, it tends to dump more rain in one particular area. And if you'd like to comment, please do so on either Facebook, or Twitter, or on YouTube. We're broadcasting simultaneously on all of those. Oops, I'm getting power flickers here. I do have the broadcast station here on uninterruptible power supply, and we do have backup emergency power. If we go out, it shouldn't be for too long, so we'll see. But you might see my lights flicker just a little bit here in the background. I am curious. Let's see something here. I'm going to see if I can find some wind gust reports around the area. So my temperature has dropped to about 73 degrees, which I think is amazing. And we had a wind gust here to 14. I'm not sure how accurate that is, though, so we shall see. Let's see. Okay, so this thunderstorm is stretching out just a little bit, which means that it's probably going to start to lose a little bit of punch. If I'm correct, it's building further south as well. So if you're in the Broussard area, River Ranch area, New Flanders Road, well, New Flanders Road is no longer New Flanders Road. As you know, if you've been here a good while, it is now Ambassador Caffrey. So this New Flanders Road is right in here. Here's 167. Here's Broadmoor and River Ranch. So Broadmoor, you're going to get some pretty good winds and rains as this core of this thunderstorm moves a little bit closer to you. I'll back out a little bit and show you. Yeah, a little code there. Let me make an announcement on the ham bands as well. This is WA5 Tango November Kilo, Lafayette Skywarn and Lafayette Sky Track. If you have an observation of severe weather, please come now, WA5 TNK. Excuse me. I got a frog. My wind is just about calm now under this thing, so I'm wondering if it's romping and stomping a little bit more down here, just south of River Ranch and right over River Ranch. and on into Broussard. Broussard is just on the east side of the cell. This thunderstorm around Parks has popped up again a little bit in strength, and that's typical. You'll see these things build and fade. They'll combine, they'll decouple, they'll move um, around the area, and they're constantly in a state of building and fading. So there you go. Let's see what the one over Baton Rouge is doing now. And okay, this one is pretty nasty over in the Sorrento Gonzales area. And I see they do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for that. Lafayette Parish does have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. Let's put it on here. West Central St. Martin Parish until 5:30, so we've got another 20 minutes or so. Winds possible 60 miles an hour, nickel-sized hail, and that's pretty much what we've been discussing. These thunderstorms are moving toward the south, and very slowly now. In fact, this one was called as nearly stationary, so that would tell me that we're going to get a good bit of rain in some spots. We can have a sort of a measurement with the Doppler radar. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to zoom back in on this. And I'm going to stop the zoom on the last sweep of the radar. Let's see if we can get a Doppler estimate of how much rain we've had. And 1 hour, that should be enough to tell us. So here is where we had the heaviest rain. I'm going to look at that with you. Right here, we got a little over 2 inches of rain in the Carencro area, anywhere between 1.83, 1.84, and that's where we've had the heaviest rain so far. So, Steaky, some areas in there got over 2 inches of rain, and this was in the last hour. So, anywhere between, let's say, 1.5 inches of rain and 2 inches of rain. Pretty good amount of rain. This is 182, of course, and I got about 1 inch of rain. So that gives you some idea of what kind of rainfall we have had in the last hour. And good afternoon to everybody that's here. Brian, good afternoon to you. Heavy rains near Camellia. Let's see, very heavy winds near Camellia Boulevard. Near Johnston Street, light rain letting up as I get to Ridge Road. Good. So that's what we were pretty much seeing on the radar. Thanks for confirming that, Brian. Appreciate the obs. And I've got another Facebook user thunderstorm coming through Reeves, Louisiana now. Yes, we did see one over there for sure. And it's a severe thunderstorm, Facebook user. So please take care. And look, let me ask you this again, too. And if you don't mind, go to steamyard.com/Facebook and give us permission to see your name when you make a comment. That would be very nice, instead of just seeing Facebook user. I mean, if you want to. There's no requirement that you do that. And Brian, you confirmed exactly what we were thinking with this. Let me go back to a different product here from the Doppler. So this thunderstorm is still romping and stomping a little bit, and we do still have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Lafayette Parish until 5:30, and also for northeastern St. Martin Parish. This thunderstorm is far, far less than it was earlier, and it's moving, so it should be in the St. Martinville area in about 10 minutes. And this thunderstorm should be right at about 6 o'clock, just south of Broadmoor, moving slowly. This thing isn't moving much at all. So it's probably run into a sea breeze flow of air that's just put the brakes on it. So look for some rain. Look for some pretty decent rain here. Kankton, hey, you might get some rain out of this yet, Jenny. Keep your fingers crossed. I'll keep my fingers crossed for you. And let's see if we're getting any other comments. Nope, not yet. Not at this point. But it's good to have everybody on board. I think as we do this more and more, I think more and more people will probably join in. We do have a nice viewership now, though. But my objective, just so you'll know, is to keep you abreast on an absolutely real time basis of what's going on when we do have a severe weather occurrence. And I can't promise that I'll be here every time we have a severe weather occurrence, but majority of them I'll catch. Okay, wind still. Hang on.
Oscar, Quebec, Delta.
Yeah, 5 Oscar, Quebec Delta, WA5 TNK. Go ahead with your obs.
Nothing severe ahead, but gusts have been blowing intermittently. 10 minutes or so is quite a bit higher than it is now. Small pecan limbs, branches down, but nothing observed otherwise. Over.
Okay, give me your location again.
1/4 mile east of the Cajun Dome. Over.
Okie dokie, good. You're right under the core of that thunderstorm, so that's a great ops. I appreciate it, and I'll be here and holler if you have another ops. WA5 TNK, Lafayette Sky 1.
Roger, at WA5 TNK. Some people may be listening on W5 EX9, so that's a full input. KI5 monitoring.
You know what? I should probably be over there, shouldn't I?
And certainly has a bigger footprint on it.
Yeah, let me see. What's the frequency again?
147.040. Over.
040. Okay. WA5 10K QSY to EXI. This is WA5 Tango November Kilo with Lafayette Sky Warn. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for about another 10 minutes for Lafayette Parish. Thunderstorm is stationary over Lafayette. I expect heavy rains. Any reports of damage, please come now. WA5 TNK. So you're listening to what I'm doing on the radio with the ham radio operators. It's called Skywarn, and we have a network of people there. I'm thinking that this is going to be every bit as widespread, or maybe more widespread, since not everybody's a ham radio operator, but a lot of folks have Facebook, and so this is good. I did get one comment, and I don't know where it's from. It says thunderstorm coming through. Well, I do know where that one is. That's in Reeves. Wind still heavy here. Lots of medium to large branches down. If you made this comment, please come back and tell me where you are. Because without that location, that doesn't help me. So please come back and tell me where you are. Or if you can, go to StreamYard.com and let us see your name when you make the comments. That would be great. Windy, just starting to rain off Pinhook, south of Vero School Road. Okay. That's good to know. I'm getting a pretty heavy rainfall here, but it does look like this thunderstorm may be diminishing a little bit. I'm going to zoom in on it. The heavier stuff is now, looks like in the Woodlawn area south, in the Milton area. We do have some pockets of pretty heavy rain around River Ranch. I'm hearing a few sirens here. I don't know what's going on. This is the heaviest portion of this thunderstorm. We'll go back to the velocities, products on the radar, and take a look. It's tough. Not seeing too much there. Looks like the radar signal just kind of stops right there. It's getting some pretty good attenuation or dampening here. We also have some very heavy to severe thunderstorms over here in the Reeves area. Oh, there's the Reeves area. Okay. Thanks for that observation earlier. Yeah, that's a severe thunderstorm, and it will be in effect for another 24 minutes. Hail possibly over an inch in size. Let me see if I can tell you what we see. Yeah, we've got some pretty good winds in there, like right here. For example, I've got some 50-mile-an-hour winds being measured by the Doppler, and that's pretty close to the antenna. So that's telling me that that's going to be a pretty good wind and justification, of course, for a severe thunderstorm. That's in the Reeves area, just to the southwest of Kinder, and just to the north of Lake Charles. Thanks for that observation earlier. I appreciate it. Jeff Davis, Beauregard, Calcasieu, Allen. Wind gust to 60. Yeah, and we confirm that with the radar, with the Doppler. They certainly have the potential for those kinds of winds in there. So let's go back to Acadiana area, where I suspect most of our folks are watching. And let's see what we have here. Yeah, we've got this thing is calming down a little bit. Still some gusty winds, though. They're Prairieville, White Castle.
Appreciate that weather update. KJ5 BC.
Oh, good afternoon, sir. I tell you what, we've had. Are you watching on Facebook by any chance?
No, sir. I am on a mobile unit. Just passing through Lafayette.
Okay, roger that. Well, it looks like the thunderstorm complex that's over Lafayette is starting to diminish a little bit. There are some heavier thunderstorms, but they're over near Lake Charles. So that's going to be your next little challenge there. Over. That's somebody coming through Lafayette on a ham band radio. They're mobile. They're on I-10, I presume. Okay, so this is starting to diminish, I think, a little bit. And I believe, yeah, the severe thunderstorm warning.
I just passed through Lafayette on mile marker 106, and it's clear skies after that.
Okay, approximately 50 miles west of your current location, you're going to see some very heavy thunderstorms again. They're moving north to south, and they will be moving across the interstate. WA5TNK. Okay, so this is another severe thunderstorm warning. That cell that we were saying has punched up a little bit more.
I appreciate the update.
Between Abbeville. And let me give this to the network as well. And this is WA5TNK. A new severe thunderstorm warning will expire in about 36 minutes. Expect wind gusts to 60 miles an hour. Severe thunderstorm for central Iberia Parish, for northeastern Vermilion Parish. And this is capable of producing some gusty winds as well as quarter-size hail, possible wind gusts to 60 miles an hour. That is going to be in effect, again, for the next 36 minutes. WA5TNK. Okay, so we were pretty much on the beam here with this. And this thunderstorm is moving toward the south. And this is Acadiana Sky Track. This is a new little thing we're trying out to see if anybody benefits from it. It's being broadcast simultaneously now on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter as we speak. If you'd like to leave a comment, I would ask you to, let's see, what does this say? Sorry, I made the comment about branches down. This is Kim Bennett. Oh, Kim. Okay, thank you, Kim. Thank you very much. Gotcha. Okay. Well, Kim is a well-trusted weather observer. I'll tell you, she's been working with me for a long time and does a great job. Um, okay, so let's see. I'm going to ask if you're watching, you do this again. Please go to steamyard.com/Facebook. And I'm requesting access to your Facebook name, so I'll know who's making the comments when you do it. You only have to do it once, and then when we do this in the future, I'll be able to see who's making the comments. So, steamyard.com/Facebook, and it's a very quick, easy process. Okay, so now let's zero in on the business section of this. Okay, so Karen Crow, you're in the good air now. This is all past you. Central Lafayette, there's a little rain left, but this is the active area right now. This and over near Reeves, I know we have somebody in here from Reeves. These thunderstorms are severe. Notice it's pushing out an outflow boundary ahead of the thunderstorms, and that's going to be some slightly cooler air. So that's good. The good news is that we're getting some rain, and we're getting some slightly cooler air from these thunderstorms. So Abbeville, if you're in the Abbeville area, you're going to be getting some showers, pretty heavy actually, and gusty winds as well. I'm going to crank this thing up and look inside again. Let's see, yeah. So right in here, we have some pretty good rain, nothing dangerous, I don't think, except the possibility of some gusty winds. And those winds could remain gusty. I'm going to just leave it there for just a moment, and you will see it update as it does update. This is a live image from the National Weather Service radar in Lake Charles, the Doppler. A NextRad radar, which allows us to do all sorts of fancy things with the computer algorithms built into the radar. It's an S-band radar, which has got the best penetration abilities of any of the weather radars. And so there's another thunderstorm that's building out ahead of this, and I suspect that this may become a very heavy to severe thunderstorm as well near Henry. So if you're watching this off of Highway 300 or 82, I think this thunderstorm is going to blossom. And you'd have to expect it with temperatures on the surface of up over 100 degrees in some cases. Sipmore Point, there's a thunderstorm over Weeks Island. It's going to be heading your way. But right now, here's the one that we're most concerned with between Woodlawn and Groseille, northeast of Abbeville. That's where the heaviest rain is, right here in this core. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't really show much on the velocities. Then we'll go back up and look at Lafayette. Lafayette's getting better and better weather-wise. I'm going to look out my window for knobs, and the white rain here is stopping. Vatican, the shower popping up there. This atmosphere is going to stabilize a little bit, I think, with the subsidence, the air with this thunderstorm. Cooled it off a little bit and stabilized it probably. The most unstable atmosphere is when you have cold air upstairs. You get a free convection rate, and the thunderstorms just go crazy. But matter of fact, let's see something here. I'm curious as to what the tops of this stuff might be. Let me see if I can go to another radar unit and figure it out. Ah, okay. We had a 53 mile an hour wind gust in Lafayette. Looks like at the airport at 2206, that'd be 406. Yep, yep, it was measured at the airport. So we had a 53 mile an hour wind gust with that thunderstorm that came through here. And let's see something. Yeah, tops on those thunderstorms down south of us are approximately 45,000 feet. That's a big thunderstorm. That's a big old thunderstorm. So this thing is, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that comment. Thank you very much. And Charlie, good afternoon to you. So the core of this thunderstorm is right here, just northeast of Abbeville. And this thing is moving southward pretty slowly. It's about 9 miles an hour. Of course, the one that was over here just kind of sat there and didn't do much of anything as far as movement goes. Thank you, buddy. I think we're overdue for an eyeball, buddy and Charlie. So, David, good afternoon to you. Lots of wind in Youngsville, but no rain yet. This is a dress rehearsal for hurricane. Oh my gosh, David, don't even say that. Or is that's Maggie? Maggie, don't even think that, please. Hopefully not. You know, somebody was asking me the other day. They said, "Do you think this is going to be an active hurricane season?" I said, "Well, let me tell you, if one hurricane hits you, it's pretty darn active. So hopefully we won't have that experience." And David says, "Thanks for keeping us updated. I did get some high winds and a good pour down." Okay. And let's see. Brian, showers just started off a ridge road near Colorado Road, nearly calm winds though. Okay, great. So that tells me that the northern portion of this thing is probably settling down a little bit. And I really appreciate these comments. That makes it much, much easier to see what's going on. Here's a fan of where this thing is going to be based on that speed. So at 616, it ought to be right here at Rose Hill. And it's going to probably, unless it builds a little to the west, it's going to pretty much miss Abbeville. But this is where the heavy showers are right now. Moving south-southwest at 9 miles an hour. An hour. That's an hour. Okay, so let's look back inside at the velocity of the particles. And yeah, now we've got some fairly decent stuff in here. Well, that's 15. Again, realize that this is a measurement taken at about 6,000 feet off the surface, because that's where the radar goes. Hey, let me tell you something while we got a little bit of time here. I called Senator Kennedy's office and asked him for some help in a project that I would love to be able to get done. If you have any influence with these people, maybe you can help. Forever, let me back this out and I'll show you. Forever, one of my pet peeves is that we have a Lake Charles radar and we have another radar at Slidell, which is going to be moving to Hammond. But that leaves us with a tremendous hole right down here in south central Louisiana. So what I would like to do is I would like for the National Weather Service to put another National Weather Service radar, and they could remote it just like they do the one at Fort Polk, especially with the great communications we have now. I'd like them to put it right here, somewhere in the vicinity or just east of Sipmore Point around Weeks Island. Glencoe would actually be a beautiful place for that, just to the south of Morgan City, or somewhere in the Morgan City area would be even better. And like that, we would cover that hole that is existent between Lake Charles and also the National Weather Service in Slidell. Watch, let me show you this. Take a look at this. See the ring? This shows the effective range of Lake Charles radar. I'm going to click on this one, and this shows the effective range. See, there's a hole right down here. And if there's a hurricane that's approaching, this is where I want to see data. So that's why I've called Senator Kennedy's office and asked for some help with that. I haven't heard anything back from him. Of course, I'm not a big politico, so that may have some bearing on it, but I know the guy's busy. But if you have any stroke with them, ask them to let's get in gear and do this together. Okay, enough of that. Let's take a look at this. Looks like just to the northeast, west of Youngsville, it is. To the southwest of Broussard. Looks like we're getting a little bit of play here. Nothing dangerous, but we could have some winds in there around. Boy, it's funny to see New Flanders. It hadn't been New Flanders in a long time. It's Ambassador Caffrey now. So let's see. Abbeville, you're getting a little rain. I'm going to go back to the reflectivity. So this stuff is building a little bit further south. Lafayette Parish, you're out of the problem area now. So don't worry about that if you're in Lafayette Parish. I can pretty much tell you got an all clear. Not so much with Vermilion Parish. This stuff could be heavy. Also, let's take a quick look around. Over in this area south of Grosset, south of Baton Rouge. This complex is moving toward the south. Of course, there's not too much inhabitants in here until you get to the Morgan City Patterson area. Let's see, over in the Lake Charles area. Now, these are romping and stomping. If you're headed west on I-10, that's a problem area. In fact, let me talk to the guy over on the ham bands. Just give me a minute if you don't mind. That's WA5 Tango November Kilo for an update on the gentleman that's on I-10 westbound in the mobile. If you're still copying, those thunderstorms are still severe. They stretch now from just to the west of Welch and on toward Iowa, and they will be crossing the interstate in the next 45 minutes. So you're liable to run into those. Keep an eye out to the west. WA5 Tango November Kilo. The severe thunderstorm warning for Lafayette Parish is no longer in effect. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning, however, for Abbeville and the Erath area. Severe thunderstorm in that area moving southward at about 9 miles an hour. Nothing further. This is WA5 Tango November Kilo. Okay. So that's done. Let's see here. Let's see if we have any more comments. I don't want to miss anybody.
Man, I am headed eastbound, but I'm on the basin now, and it's clear from Almark 106 on to 125 now. So looking like this weather, that's route.
Okay. So I'm going to put this guy back in motion. We can watch it a little bit. Those are the thunderstorms over near Lake Charles. Here's the stuff that came through Karen Crow, Lafayette, and is now romping and stomping down in Vermilion Parish, headed toward Intracoastal City. If you're boating out in Vermilion Bay, get ready for a lot of wind and some heavy rains. If you're at the point, it looks like there might be some heavy rains coming your way as well. This little thunderstorm is building south of Weeks Island. Also, if you are offshore, this stuff is probably going to last and head offshore. So in a couple of hours, you'll be able to see some of that too if it stays together. Oh, look at this, how cool. Lafayette was reporting 102 degrees before the showers hit. Now we're at 80. So, you know what? My air conditioner's happy. Abbeville's going to cool off. Abbeville, you're getting a little rain there. There's the reporting at the airport in Abbeville. That rain is just moving into the northeastern part of Abbeville, and it's going to cover the whole town here in just a moment. And you'll see some gusty surface winds, possibly as high as 60 miles an hour, and possibly some small hail. And this is extending out, so we'll probably see. I think if I were working the radar at Lake Charles, I would probably consider putting out a special marine warning for Vermilion Bay. Yeah, pretty quickly here. They might do that. They might not. We'll see. But that thunderstorm is going to have some power as it moves into the coastal area. So let's see if NWS at Lake Charles does that or not. Now look at this. We've got some more thunderstorms popping up. No, we don't. No, we don't. Cancel that. I was looking at an old loop. I've got 30 frames in the loop here, so that's what made me think that. So this is an area that's all clear. From Opelousas to Lafayette. We have no more rain in that area. But it is still pretty heavy duty around Abbeville, Erath, and on down toward intracoastal city. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw a special marine warning pop up here pretty shortly for the northern part of Vermilion Bay. I think that's worth warning. Let's see what happens. And thanks to everybody that's watching this afternoon. Let's see. Brian says if things. Thank you for that, Brian. I appreciate it. Things get fired up again, Southwest Lafayette Parish. I'll come back and report it. Thanks, everyone. Have a great evening. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the help. And this is from a Facebook user. I do not know the name. Thanks again, Tell. You're welcome. Kim a while ago said that the rain had stopped. Raining now, but the winds have stopped. Okay, and here's one of our ham buddies, KI5 Whiskey Charlie Romeo, says that Milton is sharing the thunder, but they didn't get any rain. Okay, there we go. So once this stuff gets out into the water, I think I'm going to secure this broadcast because I don't think we'd have anybody watching out in Vermilion Bay. I may be wrong, but I don't think we would. But we certainly don't want to abandon anybody if they are watching out there. Yeah, Lord mercy. Let's see. Okay, so we still have those thunderstorms moving down into Vermilion Parish. And that looks like the heaviest stuff right here between Abbeville and Erath, and stretching on down toward the northern part of the area. Okay, well, I'm going to give it a few more minutes, then we're going to secure the operation here. Let's see. If there's anybody in the Abbeville area watching, please leave me a comment. Okay, Jenny, thank you. See you later. Everything's moving on down south of Abbeville, so I think we're going to secure it this time. If anything else pops up that looks dangerous, well, I think what we'll do is we'll come back and talk about it some more and see what the radar is showing. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Hope this is of some help to you. And remember, there's severe weather. It's a place you can hang out. If I'm around, I'll be happy to describe what's going on to you, and maybe we can keep you out of harm's way. Again, thank you very much, and I'm going to end the broadcast at this time.